Well, hey friends, welcome into my craft room. I'm Heidi with Heidi's Ensemble DIY. In today's episode, we're going to be taking random Dollar Tree items and turning them into pumpkins. I love decorating my home with pumpkins for the fall season, especially if they're a really beautiful craft. I'm so grateful you are all here today. Now come along and let's make something beautiful for our homes. The Dollar Tree has these round plates at their kitchen section. I picked them up and I was so bummed when I got them home. Something happened where they cracked in transport, but no worries. I can still work with it and have a way to conceal it. I took them outside and spray painted them all orange, and now I'm going to trace them onto 3 different scrapbook papers. I'm cutting inside of that pencil line about a 1/2 inch all the way around the whole border of that pencil line, so that way it's a little bit smaller than the plate and it still has that spray painted orange rim around the plate. I want the circle to lay flat on the flat part of the center of the plate, not coming up the ramped side. Once I had all of my papers cut out, I'm going to add on some hot glue and add in my circles. This part is so easy and it takes no time at all. Now we're going to bring together all the plates. I am adding on some glue, and then the mustard yellow is going to be the center plate. We are making some darling pumpkins that can be hung up on a hook somewhere in your home. I ended up gluing some more glue on the back for some more support. And now I'm just going to use my Crop-A-Dile to punch 2 holes so I can add some wire, twist it in place, and then thread on a whole bunch of white beads. Once the beads were on to the length that I wanted my wire to be for the handle, I thread into the other hole with the wire, and I'm going to twist that in place. Now I have kids. I don't like people ever getting scratched by things. And I always like to take my wire at the very end of twisting all the way around, and I like to use my needle nose pliers to just really tighten that wire in place so that nobody can get scratched on it. Now for the plates. I'm going to add 3 sticks with the big globs of glue because we're going to add on some moss next. And I'm working quickly so that way I can utilize this glue as much as I can. I'm adding on the moss, tapping it into place, and then I'm going to come in with as much greenery as I see fit. You play with this because the options are endless with what you want to put. You can add some flowers, some leaves, some foliage. I did that on the 2 outer pumpkins, and the center pumpkin I'm going to tie this really pretty lace ribbon. Again, I get from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to tie that into place, cut off the tails if they're too long, and then add on a couple more leaves that I had sitting around, all those little bits and bobs that we sometimes hold on to in our craft rooms. These kind of projects are great to use up crafting supplies that you just hold on to on your craft table. Friends, I don't know if you have heard what has been going on, but YouTube is making some big changes in 2026. They are celebrating their 20th anniversary, and they're doing 20 new changes that's allowing AI to be more involved in the algorithm and how videos are recommended. If you have not been getting notifications for my channel, please don't forget to go check out my gallery. There are tons of new videos that have been coming out. I really appreciate it. All right, friends, I found this darling wood sign. It was the $3 plus section. I spray painted orange and I took off the twine on the back. I'm taking a piece of scrapbook paper and I'm going to rip along the sides to create a box that's a rectangle size. And then I'm going to create some pencil lines where I know I want to cut it down because I don't want to cover up all of that plank woodwork there. So I'm just trimming it with my paper trimmer, getting all of those in place, and then I'm going to glue it all down. Now once I had everything glued down, I really wanted to give it a shabby chic look. So I'm going to get out my sanding block and I'm going to really rough up the sides. But first I'm just going to brayer that paper into place. And once it looked good, you can see here with my sandpaper, your sanding block, whatever you want to use, go ahead and rough up the sides to show some of that wood. Now I get these hinges from Amazon. I'll link them down below. I love these hinges for my shabby chic projects. I just think they're so pretty and they have a beautiful vintage look. I'm going to secure them with a little bit of hot glue and then some push pins. And I'm just going to hammer those into place so that they look like grommets. Now I'm going to do another ripped paper, but this one I crinkled up into a square shape. And I'm just going to rough it up a little bit. And now we're going to embellish this thing like crazy because I want to go for a shabby chic vintage fall look for this decor piece. I've got this leaf, this burlap leaf. I ripped off the wire, put some ink on it. I'm adding in some more leaves. And I'm just really just playing with it, adding in texture, adding in fall. I love that about the shabby chic style because you really can just layer and layer and layer, and it looks so beautiful the more you add on. I'm now adding on a white sunflower, and I still wanted to play with it a little bit more. I thought I would pop in a mini pumpkin as well as a pine cone. I'm just adding in the appropriate glue needed without having it be messy, popping them all in place, adding in some of this darling beaded wire. And then I'm going to add on some of these Dollar Tree stickers. Now up at the top, because we're turning this into a pumpkin, I'm taking one of these thicker craft sticks. And I did not want to get out paint this day because it just would have been, more work. Sometimes I just want to get through projects and have fun doing them without bringing out paint. So I'm going to just use my ink to tap along that. And then I took a wipey and I smudged all the ink together and it gave it this really nice stained look to it. So that's a little technique try. If you don't want to get out paint, you can use ink pads as well. I'm going to add on a bow, glue that all in place, and we have a beautiful finished pumpkin to decorate with. I love these round mirrors that they have at the Dollar Tree in their home section, but I wanted to turn it into something a little bit different. So I took it outside, spray painted it orange, and we're really going to play with this frame. I have this gorgeous calendar that they came out with for 2026. The most beautiful prints are in this. I'm going to rip out the November month, and I'm not going to use all of it. I'm actually going to save part of it for another project on another day. I'm just going to stick it back in the calendar when it's done. But I'm going to create a new backer for the frame. I just traced around the circle, cut it out on a piece of chipboard. And this is the chipboard that's inside the calendar that it comes with. I'm going to put some glue on that. And then I'm going to center on this house with this road. I really wanted to get this part. And you can see that there is still this very much so huge usable piece on the other side. I will use that on another day here on my channel. Don't forget, by the way, to click that subscribe button if you haven't, and click those notification bells, and make sure to check out the gallery over on my channel because sometimes there's weird things going on with YouTube. Sometimes they don't send out notifications. Once I got everything all locked into the frame, now we're going to play with the frame. I decided to bring on a very dark chocolate brown, and I want the orange to still be popping through. I don't want to cover it up. I want it to look very vintage, rusty. And we're going to add on some cinnamon and just keep playing with it until it has a very beautiful antique vintage look. Once all the cinnamon was dried and in place, I'm going to go ahead and add a backer on. I'm taking a piece of fabric, swirled around some glue on the back, and I'm just going to push that right down on there. And I'm going to trim right around the rim of that frame. Now at this point we want to be able to hang it up, so I'm going to add on this sweet little ribbon on the back so I can hang that up in my house. And then up at the top, friends, I forgot to show this part, but I took my sanding block and I started to peel back some of the cinnamon, some of that chocolate brown paint to reveal the orange. When I lay it flat, you'll see it. But at this point, I'm adding on a stick at the top and some boxwood. It was kind of tricky trying to hold everything because the frame kept wanting to roll off the table. So I'm having to hold it all in place. I add a pine cone, some moss. I'm just adding on things that feel very organic looking. And that's it. I think it turned out so pretty. What do you all think? I am so grateful for all of you popping in here. I cannot have this channel without all of you, and you all mean so much every single time you give a video a thumbs up, or you click the subscribe button, or you leave a comment. Remember, don't forget to go over and check out my gallery to see any videos you might have missed. There's been a whole bunch of new ones that have just come out recently on my channel. I'm going to link this video right here. It came out just the other day. And until the next episode, bye friends.